Hey beautiful people, it's Courtney. I am back today with another slime showdown, but today it's going to be in between two different underrated slime shops, so a little bit different. I did just do Snoop Slimes versus Slimy Palette, so definitely make sure to check that out. And my slime shop is also fully stocked, so I will link it down below. We even have some new slime, so if you haven't seen them yet, definitely make sure to give it a little peek. They're not even shown on this little clip here, so definitely make sure to check it out. And this week's podcast is all about to college or not to college. So my sister and I started a brand new podcast. I will also link below. Now the packages in this video are sent to me for the purpose of a review. So normally I just leave this on my Instagram, but I thought I would throw it up here for those of you who don't have it. You've been asking for more details. But let's get started with this first package, which is from World of Slimes. Now, you guys, this was the most, I think, generous package I have received ever. There was so many extras. So I just want to say, like, the biggest thank you so much. That was so sweet. There's literally so many candy, and you guys, so much candy, and there was so many Reese's, which are my absolute all-time favorites, especially dark chocolate. So thank you so much. This was just so beyond necessary, and so I'm just so appreciative. So I just wanted to say thank you. I have literally a stockpile of candy now, but I won't let that influence my opinion on the slimes. But I did just want to say a huge thank you because I thought that was just so sweet. So here's a little extra baggie, which I think comes with most orders. I would assume this is like the typical extra baggie, which still came with a lot of candy. There was just so much. And of course the slimes were packaged very nicely in bubble wrap. So this first slime is called Cupcake Duo, and the base of it is like a sleigh slime, and then the top frosting is a butter slime, and the butter slime actually came in a really nice like double walled container. So the texture was so incredibly thick. And this one was also unscented, so if you don't like scents, this is for you. I found that a lot of you are leaving comments wanting to know how scented certain slimes are, so I do read all of your comments. So if they are unscented, I definitely try to let you know so you could decide if you want to pick it up. But this slime, I loved the sprinkles, the charm. It just was a really nice thick slime. It was the perfect amount of stretchiness while still being thick, but I did have to add just the slightest bit of activator to my hands just to kind of keep it from sticking to my hands like if I was holding it and whatnot. But I actually think this slime was great. And now that I'm thinking about it, all the slimes from this slime shop were unscented, so that's great if you don't like scents. So I wanted to throw that out there. This next slime is called Rainbow Crunch, and these aren't my favorite type of containers, but for starting out, I do think they're a great option, and luckily none of them broke, and I definitely think these are like more sturdy than those souffle cups, so luckily they all arrived in perfect condition. And this slime is actually a full foam, and I love that it's a full rainbow foam because I don't remember even the last time I've had a full foam that was also rainbow. Usually they're just the plain white beads when they're full floams. And if you could hear my dog ringing the front doorbell in the background, I'm sorry, that's like his little bell when he wants to go outside. But this slime was so crunchy. It was a really nice foam because there was no fallout whatsoever. And it was very stretchy, very thick, and just overall a really nice foam. This last slime from them is called Cereal Milk, and this is of course a thick and super glossy slime, and this one also had large foam beads in it. The only thing I will say, I did find like a little hair in the bottom as well, by the way, or like a little lint or fuzz, something was in it, I couldn't exactly tell, but it came with a little Fruit Loops charm. And the only thing I will say is all of the slimes, as you guys have noticed, they all had foam beads. And I know if I say something, you got a lot, I get comments that are like, well, why did you order slimes with all foam beads? And here's the thing, when they're sent to me for reviews, it's up to the seller to decide what slimes they want to send. So even though I loved every slime and they were all completely different textures, I would have liked to see something maybe a little bit different, maybe with something besides foam beads, maybe glitter, just to kind of switch it up a bit. But I will say that I did enjoy this slime as well because it was so thick and so crunchy. The bubble pops were amazing, and this was a really good texture. I definitely think this is actually my favorite out of all three. This next slime shop is Andir's shop, and inside the package, of course, we have some slimes that are nicely bubble wrapped and very nice containers, and then we have a little extra baggie with candies, a little squishy, some borax, and a business card. So I think that's great. Very comparable to the first one with all the extras that would come in a typical package. And then, of course, we have the bubble wrap slimes. Now, this first slime is called Chubby Cat's Milk, and what I will say is 2 out of 3 of the containers did arrive cracked. Luckily, none of them spilled, but I think it could have been because it was in a bubble mailer, maybe with so many slimes in the bubble mailer. Not really sure, but definitely something to be aware of. But luckily, none of them spilled. And you guys, here's the thing. With thick and glossy slimes, when they're like a plain white like this one, I feel like they have to be an amazing texture and a good scent as well, because there's really like no extras with it, even though it did have a charm. So you guys, this one had me shocked. I loved it. The texture was amazing. I did find a little something in it. It looked like a little tiny bug maybe that got squished. Not really sure, just kind of picked that out. But the slime, it actually wasn't scented like, you know, milk or Fruit Loops, and I appreciated that. I get kind of tired of the Fruit Loop scent. It was scented like sweet yogurt, which was a little bit different. And again, it came with the cute cat charm, which I think kind of switched it up a little bit for a cereal milk slime. But this texture, hands down, is incredible. It's so thick, it's so holdable, and I just really loved it. Like, it was a slam dunk. It was awesome, and the texture was just so good. Very holdable, yet still stretchy. I was playing with this long after I was done filming. I just really liked it. This next slime is called Mango Sweet Tea, and this is another one that did unfortunately crack a little bit on the side, but it came with these little extra slushy beads, and it scented, of course, like mango sweet tea. Now, you guys know I am extremely particular with my clear slimes just because they could be a bit messy sometimes. Like, for example, this one wasn't like super sticky, but it was a little bit where it just kind of left a weird residue on my hands. It was definitely the type of clear slime that needed to be, it was easier played with on a table versus like holding it in my hands, but it wasn't terrible. It just wasn't my favorite. As you guys can see, it's still very stretchy. It's just better played with on the table is pretty much all I'm trying to say, but not my favorite clear slime ever, just because I am so particular. Clear slimes aren't really my favorite unless they're like perfect. So this one, just for my own preference, wasn't my favorite out of all the slimes I got. Okay, now that being said, this last slime was my favorite. Who would have guessed? So this is called a Dream of Butterfly. It was unscented. I did find like a large black hair in it when I first, before I even started playing with it. It was kind of like up against the side, but this one was so beautiful. Okay, I take it back. I don't know if it was my favorite in texture compared to the first one because the milk slime was so good, but this one, like I was mentioning everything about the clear slimes, this one is like my picture perfect clear slime. So I don't know if it was a different recipe or what between this one and the last one, but I loved this one. It was so holdable, not sticky at all, yet still stretchy. Like this one was perfect and so beautiful as well. So that being said, I had such a hard time picking winner for this slime showdown because on one hand, the first slime shop had great slimes. I liked all of them. The second one, I loved the variety of slime shops, but I did find like a hair in this one, and I also found a bug, or I'm not really sure what it was, and a couple of the containers cracked. But I think they're both so good. So I think I'm going to have to end this showdown with a tie, which is the first, because there were pros and cons to both slime shops. And I want you guys to vote in the comments down below and help me decide which one should win, because I actually thought both of them were quite good. And I like different things about each of them. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know who won in the comments down below, and I will talk to you very soon. Bye.